Hey guys, what up? It's Dan, aka Hoop Sneakers, and welcome back into the Hoop Sneakers YouTube channel, or the IGTV, or the Hoop Sneakers Facebook page, or wherever else you may be checking out this video. Today we have a performance review of a very special sneaker. This is the NW1 from We Are Underdogs. So this sneaker right here is actually the signature basketball sneaker of WearTesters.com's Chris Chase, aka Nightwing2303. So for those of you that are here watching me do this performance review, or you've come across my IG page or whatever it might be, I'm sure that you guys are familiar or you're aware of WearTesters.com and who those guys are and who Chris is. I give more detail on the written review of these on the Hoop Sneakers website. For those of you that don't know that want to go check that out. And just a quick little bit of backstory on We Are Underdogs, the brand that manufactured and produced this sneaker. So We Are Underdogs is a boutique sneaker brand out of Portugal. All their sneakers are handcrafted, handmade out of really high quality premium raw materials. And this is their first ever attempt at a performance sneaker and a performance basketball sneaker. So what happened there was We Are Underdogs approached Wear Testers and approached Chris and said, would you like to work with us on getting this shoe to market and creating a performance basketball sneaker? And this is what came out of it. And again, I'll go into more detail on that collaboration in the written review on the Hoop Sneakers website, which is hoopsneakers.wordpress.com. Basically, this is an entirely new sneaker from an entirely new brand to the hardwood. So, I mean, I guess without further ado, we'll just get into the review of the sneaker. And as always, we'll start off with the traction. So, the outsole traction, the traction pattern itself is a combination. It takes inspiration from the Air Jordan 1. And it's a combination of a couple of different patterns that have been proven to work in the past. So you've got some aspects of herringbone traction. You've got a radial pivot point, and the traction also fans out in somewhat of a radial pattern, and it's been dubbed webbing bone traction pattern. So basically, the performance of the outsole traction itself is really good. It's a really quite tacky rubber compound they use for the outsole, and on an indoor hardwood court you get a really good stop and a really good bite, and you really grip the court on those hard side-to-side movements like cuts or crossovers. And it also when you take them outdoors as well, it's super, like, they stick like glue. They're super grippy outdoors on like concrete or like pavers or the blacktop or whatever it might be. Unfortunately, and I won't belabor this too much in the video review because I go into detail on it in the written review, but the rubber compound used isn't very durable at all. There was some noticeable signs of fraying of the rubber even after the very first time I used them indoors, and the time I spent testing them outdoors has really worn down sections of the outsole, and other parts have completely just become frayed and broken off as well. So have briefly chatted with the manufacturer, and they've heard the feedback on the rubber, and they're going to look to address some of the concerns about durability if or when there's a follow-up to the NW1. So if there's a second iteration of the Nightwing sneaker, so maybe the NW2, but they have said they'll look into some of the durability concerns of the outsole. But yeah, it works really well. You get great performance out of it, but potentially you might not expect it to last a really long time. So move on to the cushion. So Chris was very upfront during the the testing phase and early on in the production of this sneaker that they wouldn't be working with a whole heck of a lot. So obviously you're not going to get any of your quote unquote like tech or like big name tech that the big brands have. So there's no air or no boost or anything like that. So what you do have, it's EVA foam midsole. It's a lightweight EVA foam midsole, and then they've actually, what you do get as well is a really nice insole, which is tri-layered. So there's a thin layer of EVA, and then there's a layer of a pour-on foam, and then on top of that there's a layer of like a memory foam on the top as well, and there's also a crash pad of cushion in the heel. So really nice insole, which really molds and conforms to your foot really well, and gives you really nice stepping comfort, and then so that aids with the fit as well, which we'll get into later. But as for the foam itself, it gives you a lot of court feel, which can sometimes some people like court feel, other people like to actually get nice cushion. But so you get tons of court feel. It's kind of like a stiff foam. It doesn't have that much impact protection. When the first couple of times you wear them, you definitely feel playing in these or working out in these the next day through your quads and back and knees a little bit. It does break in slightly and becomes a better overall experience the more times you wear them, and you do get used to the foam cushion after your first few wears as well. But yeah, I mean it's pretty basic, and that's it's unfortunate, but like it was completely expected. So I'm giving the sneaker demerits at all, like totally based on the cushion, because I did go into it with the expectations that it was going to be somewhat limited in compared to offerings from the like major brands. So yeah, but the really nice insole does offset that somewhat. So I'll talk about the fit, because I alluded to that when I was talking about the insole molding and conforming to your foot. So I'll talk about the fit. They fit. So the fit of this sneaker, they wanted to base it off that of the Nike Kobe 5. So they bought an old pair of Kobe's and they poured resin into that to make it last, to base the fit of this sneaker off of. And so what this sneaker does is they fit true to size for normal footers. And if you're a wide footer like me, I went up half a size to a 11 US men's 11.5. My true size is 11, so I went up to an 11.5, and I found that these fit me absolutely perfectly. So I really like the fit a lot. They fit me really well. So yeah, they fit me really well. And so if you're looking to get a pair of these, what I would recommend is like go true to like what you normally get in a Nike, like a Kobe model or a Kyrie model. That's what they fit like. So if you go true to size with those Nike models, then that's what I would go with the NW1. If you go up half a size like I often do, then do the same thing with these guys. You'll get a really good fit. No pinching or rubbing or chafing or anything. Like it all just sort of, it was really good. I really enjoy the fit, actually. One of the best fitting sneakers I've had for a while. We'll move on to the support. So support features of the NW1 are pretty minimal, but that's everything that you need and nothing you don't, which I wouldn't have expected anything else coming from a shoe that Chris had a hand in creating. What you do have, it all starts from the tooling of the outsole, midsole tooling is where you're going to get support from, and not just in this sneaker, but every sneaker. The height of the ankle collar is pretty irrelevant into how supportive the sneaker is going to be for your ankle. It's all about keeping your actual foot on the footbed of the sneaker rather than how much restriction your ankle actually has to move. So what you get here is you get a wide, I should start off with this piece right here because it's probably the defining feature not only of the support but of the sneaker overall. So this is your lateral wing. So your Nightwing lateral piece. So this lateral wing, it acts as like a containment piece and a bumper, as well as it extends into being a lateral outrigger as well. So that's where a lot of the support for this sneaker comes from, is this piece right here. And as I was about to touch on before, you got a wide and flat forefoot base. You've got that's all coupled with a internal heel counter, a TPU internal heel counter. And then, of course, you've got the materials, which you obviously have an overlay around from the lateral forefoot around the toe into the medial forefoot. You've got an overlay of the premium materials, which does add a little bit more containment there as well. But with your premium suede material that comes with this particular colorway of the sneaker, it's going to be a really supportive material. It's going to keep you contained where you need to be, because it's not going to give out too much or overly stretch like a knit or a mesh material might. So you're all contained and locked in regards to the materials, along with all the other parts of the tooling that keep you where you need to be. So they're really supportive. They're a really supportive sneaker overall, regardless of being a low top, but obviously they're really supportive for a low top. So, and then we'll go to the materials now. So, as I said up top in the preamble, We Are Underdogs uses really premium raw materials, really high quality materials like leathers and suedes and nubucks and things of that nature. So what you get with this particular colorway of the NW1, it's mainly a lot of suedes. So like genuine premium suede material. So the entire upper is suede. There's genuine leather hit on the heel area on this little tab here. You've got leather. And also just at the base of the tongue. And then you do have some nylon patches just on the lateral side at the midfoot and also the tongue. There's some nylon material there, which I think is just there for a little bit of added ventilation, just a touch of breathability, rather than having this raw material across the entirety of the sneaker. And also to obviously break it up and give it some dimension and a little bit of paneling, and just to break up the aesthetic of the sneaker a bit and allow for some color blocking. But yeah, so you've got really awesome super premium materials, and they don't take long at all to break in, if there's any break-in time at all. I know I went up half a size, so potentially if I'd just gone with a size 11, there may have been a little bit of additional break-in time, but I didn't find these the process of breaking these in difficult at all. And it sort of makes you wonder, why the sneakers from the major brands of modern vintage don't feature more like premium materials. But then it also doesn't make you wonder, because these sort of materials, they cost a lot more. And sneakers of this sort of ilk can take a lot longer to manufacture. And obviously when you're using just textile mesh, that's a lot cheaper. That keeps the cost of the sneaker down. And they can manufacture a lot more sneakers in much quicker time, because it's much easier to make and produce an upper that's just a textile mesh, rather than this one that's all double stitched, paneled, different panels, genuine materials, and all of that. But with all that being said, that pretty much takes care of it for the performance review on these guys right here. The Nightwing 1, or the NW1 from We Are Underdogs. As you can see, I'm wearing the early supporter tee, the NW1 t-shirt, which came as being one of the first people to get a pre-order in of these guys, which I was really happy to do. I pretty much knew from the time where I saw the video on the Wear Testers channel that this project was going to happen. I pretty much knew that I would just have to try out get a pair, because not only do I like trying out new things and new sneakers from different brands, I do attempt to try as many different sneakers from different brands as I can, and not just stick to Nike or Jordan, or even Adidas, but try out sneakers from Puma or Under Armour, or the Asian brands, the Chinese brands like Li-Ning or Anta. I mean, there are obviously a lot of sneakers out there on the market that I would still like to try, and brands that have returned to the market, such as Converse or N1, or even New Balance as well. I know that New Balance has had out 3 models now, but yet to try any of them, which is unfortunate. But I knew I was going to have to try these guys out yet. Like, as I said, not only because they're a new thing and a new product and a new brand putting something out into the performance basketball sneaker market, but just because I wanted to be able to support the channel and support Chris in his project, just because of everything that he's given me indirectly just via his great reviews and information on the WeTesters.com YouTube channel. So I mean, if for some reason, or if there's any way possible that you're not aware of those guys, you could definitely got to go check out WeTesters.com. But yeah, so you can head over to my website, which is hoopsneakers.wordpress.com, and you'll get a full written review of these guys. I think I ended up actually touching on most of the stuff in this video that I've spoken about in the written review, but that's there for you if you want. Please make sure you follow me over on Instagram at hoops_sneakers_. Instagram is the place where I'm most active. And if you have any more questions or you want to know anything more about this sneaker or anything else, that's where I'm going to be most active in responding to comments and DMs. So you can hit me up there, and I'll generally get back to as many people, everyone that I can. And so with all that being said, this has been Dan, aka Hoop Sneakers, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.